Happy New Year! Finally, I'm home-ish. I spent this month traveling back and forth to my home planet, um, and now I'm back. With new hair. I think I should probably have cut it more. I don't know. I'm not. I don't. I don't think it looks good. Short hair on me. I think I have Toby here. This is my microphone. I still haven't watched Spider-Man. This week, this upcoming week, we'll see it. This video is about Blender and my journey with Blender so far. Now, if we take this, right, look at this. If we have like a super professional Blender users, a middle level Blender users, and then a beginner Blender, okay, Blender users, and somewhere there will be the noobs, and I'm gonna tell you that I'm somewhere there with the noobs. And if you are a noob, congratulations, you found the right video for you. If you're thinking to learn Blender, then I hope my advices from this video can be helpful. So here, how we have the drawing. This is the trivial tutorial that every Blender user, I guess, gets through in his life. I followed the newest tutorial of Andrew. I want to say Kramer, but his name's not Kramer. That's the other Andrew. This is the Donald Andrew. I forgot his name, last name. Oh shit! I'm sorry, Andrew, if you're watching this. Probably not. But yeah, this is the donut. Look at how donut-y that donut is. Yummy. Yeah. It's not a perfect donut, by the way. If I zoom in here, children, you will look. Oh my god, you will see this like popping out of nowhere, or this. Wait, yeah, this sort of thing, right? And you're gonna ask yourself, what the heck? Why is this like that? Well, because I didn't do it correctly. That's why. But I'm kind of happy with how this turns out. In the end, let's just get to the point, because I'm a person who usually, I'm pretty straightforward. I try to get to the point. Yeah, don't start with the donut. Okay, if you're a noob like me, you have a lot of trouble with trying to navigate around here. A lot of other tutorials that I tried to watch over the years, not just this one. And I'm not saying that the donut tutorial by Andrew. Oh my god, what's your name? Oh shit. Okay, no, doesn't matter. I'm not saying that if you watch this tutorial here, you will not learn anything. You will not be able to create that. No, you will be. But I'm trying to say that the other tutorials that you will probably watch will be harder, because most of the tutorials out there, the people from the beginning, they go, oh, I assume you know the basic knowledge of Blender, the basic stuff in Blender, so I'm just gonna use the shortcut, and you and me will look at them like, yeah, sure. How did you what? It's like it feels like that, those online tutorials where they draw a circle, then they draw another circle, and then they draw another circle. I don't know how many circles there are, and then they draw Mickey Mouse. But no, actually, it turns out to be a horse. You're like, what? No. So, going into Blender, I suggest you. I will leave some links in the description where you can click on them, and I will tell you which one it is. It's basically, again, tutorials of Blender by different people, including this donut over here by Andrew. But I will start from navigating inside Blender, because there are a lot of shortcuts that you don't have to learn straight away. Don't get me wrong. But there are a lot of shortcuts, and every single version of Blender, every time they update something, they make a amazing upgrade or whatever, sometimes some of the buttons that you see here, sometimes they switch them. I don't remember which tutorial I was following, but for example, this in the previous versions of Blender is not here. For example, it's not. You don't have the. It's not. It depends on which version, but not everything is in the place that you will see it in your current version. So that's also a downfall when you are following a tutorial. But the good part of this is you can always ask questions, and honestly, the Blender community. Every time I think I asked once, because I don't know, I hate to put myself in the spotlight. Okay, I try my best to, break out my comfort zone, and sometimes I ask questions, and I get answers to those questions, which is great. And yeah, blended community is great. So if you ever have a problem, just first Google your question. I think that's the best way I can give you as advice, which is, I think is the common knowledge, but not everybody have that. Sadly, that's the world that we live in. And if you can't find the answer, then yeah, ask people. They will be very nice. I hope. At least to me, they were. And they will give you the answer. This is my donut, as you see here. It's nothing fancy. I think it's important when you start learning with Blender is to, well, why are you learning Blender, right? What do you want to create inside Blender? For example, Andrew was trying to create as much as he can a realistic donut. I had no intention of doing that. But his research was helpful. Now, if you're not a cook, I don't consider myself to be a cook. When I'm cooking, I always view it as learning experience, as a curiosity, if you will. I'm like, I want to make this to be eatable, right? So I want to throw this in the garbage, whatever I'm making. And I have tried in the past to make donuts, but I think they were eatable, right? They were edible, but they were not looking like that for sure. And there's a couple of reasons why. From practical perspective, I know why the donut will look like this. But let's say if I don't, just like Andrew, he will do his research to make this realistic as possible. Now, I'm not here to make a realistic looking donut. I think this one's pretty okay, in my opinion, because of the tutorial that I was following. But you need to realize and you need to decide what kind of stuff you want to make inside Blender. Are you learning Blender just for, to have it as on your portfolio sort of thing? Are you looking to get a job with this? What's the reason behind this? Why are you learning Blender? And as for Andrew, I can see that he wanted to create some realistic looking models, and he already has a company for that. I, on the other hand, don't. I'm happy to have the cartoon looking stuff. So after the donut, I decided to follow a simpler tutorials, at least simpler when it comes because this tutorial it's in I don't know how long it was, more than an hour for sure, but it does give you how to move around here, how to position the camera, how to bring up a light and what kind of light you should bring and stuff like that. It talks about the modifiers. Where are they? Where's the modifiers? There we go. There they are. It's a plate behind, so there's no modifier on that one. But it does give you a lot of knowledge, a lot of information that obviously you cannot process that. Okay, so before jumping into that, I would suggest to watch a simple tutorial about navigating in this space. To learn the basic movements and the basic shortcuts, how you can move around, because if you cannot move around, you can't like scope this, you can't move this, you can't position this in the way you want it to be positioned. And it's good to watch at least one or two tutorials about the navigating stuff and really to understand what is where and why. And then yeah, jump into that donut, make that donut delicious as possible. Okay, try to do that. And at the end of, I believe it's also we create a animation with this. This is my amazing animation donut. Yeah, it's amazing. I know. Anyway, after that, I wanted to do simpler stuff just because to reinforce my knowledge that I already gained here. File operation. And then I wanted to do this. Don't say this. It's a very simple isometric room. It's a very depressing room if you think about it. Oh my god. Yeah, that's a very depressing room. That's a very uncomfortable pillow that you see there. And I thought when I was watching this, I thought that these should be windows, but correct they're not. So this is even more depressing room with no windows and no flowers and shit. I mean, come on. Uh, but I was lazy to put the flowers, and I think there's a lamp here that I didn't create. But this particular tutorial, I will leave you the link in the description, of course, if you want to follow it. And I think you should. It's a different type of channel where he posts. I think it's a guy. and where he posts very short tutorials where you create very simple objects, very simple. He models everything and positions everything. And I learned about this new sort of what's the name of that light? The point light, not the area light. This is the area light. It's a very handy light, if you ask me, especially when you want to position your models. So if is it F12? I think it's F12. There you go. I haven't worked in Blender in almost half a month, so don't listen to me. But look at that position, that point light. No, that area. Oh my god, Jesus Christ. That area light. You don't see it, but you see the illuminant, like you see the spaces that is like lights. So it's very cool, and I learned about that light from this tutorial. And I learned to use a lot of modifiers. Everything you see here, if I go back, this here on the walls, and there's a bunch of modifiers that where are they here? Now I believe we kind of did some, but there's modifiers here. I learned how to do the modifiers. Not all of them, but at least from simple shapes from a cube to do something more complicated. And definitely these kind of tutorials help me a lot to understand how to use these modifiers. Now, I don't know all the modifiers, and I don't think you should know all the modifiers. Look at them, there's so many over here. But it's definitely a helpful tool to use in the process of making your own models for sure. And this is very simple, very robust, even though that technically, if I zoom in, look at my wooden floor. Yeah, it's still depressing room though, but look at my wooden floor. And after that, I wanted to create something even more simpler, which is the ball. The ball. That's my ball. Yeah, that was very grayish. It doesn't look very attractive. I know. If I click this button over here, you will see my ball. I didn't model this. I was looking at the same guy's tutorials, and I believe we created this from a cube by using a lot of modifiers, which apparently I combined them so you don't see them. Now, I'm a noob, so maybe we can't see them. I don't know, but there were a lot of modifiers within this, and I colored this based on my my first ever ball as a kid. Yes, I used to play soccer. Okay, for some of you, you call it soccer. Fuck you. No, football. I used to play football. My first ever ball was something similar like this. It was blue with white, and in between it was still white. And then a gypsy stole that ball from me. How dare he? Well, I kind of left it, and then I went to our apartment, and I forgot I forgot the ball. Yeah. Anyway, I deserve to be taken the ball away from me. Yeah, definitely, sure. But anyway, I'm quite happy with this. Let's just hit F12 and see what we have here. Oh my god, it's one of those area lights again that I use. Very close to the ball, as you see here, but it's quite okay. I'm very happy. My next stage with this, I would try to rig this ball and try to animate this, which also takes a lot of time if you're a noob. I was watching a guy who was rigging a simple ball, and it was like 10 minutes video, but I was like already getting lost because he was using an older version of Blender, which also really puts me off, especially if I don't know anything about Blender. But yeah, everything happens with the right time, and obviously you have to take action to get to this result, right? I did this. Okay, let's just put this on. Yeah, I did this. I was watching a tutorial. I couldn't follow the tutorial quite well because I was missing out on something. This was earlier, before I did the donut and before I learned how to properly move around Blender. This is a flower. Shut up, it's a flower, okay. Cool. And this flower, I had no reference for this. I was trying to come up out of my ass with an idea. And this is the idea that came out of my head, not my ass. Okay. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Nothing here. Okay, cool. Not much to show, I know, but it's I did try to learn the basics, and I'm half there. I don't know all the basics, but how you learn a program, I think, and this applies not just to Blender but any program out there. There's a couple. There's obviously different ways to approach stuff, right? But learning a program, the best way to learn a program is to, if I associate that with a bike, riding a bike. Do you know how to ride a bike? That's my first question. If you know, that's great. If you don't, what kind of childhood did you have? So it's just like riding. Oh my god, riding a bike. You just go on the bike and you try to keep balance. I remember trying to teach my brother how to ride a bike, and he's such a scary cat. Oh my god. And the same thing, I remember trying to teach him how to swim. He had a life jacket on, and he was still scared to go into the, because we have sea in my culture, so he was very scared to go to the sea. I'm like, dude, I'm gonna kill you. And then he's still alive. It's okay. But riding a bike, right? The analogy of riding a bike is you have to use the bike. You have to, eventually, maybe you will fall, right? When you learn that, oh, you did something stupid, that's why you fall. It's the same thing with Blender. I crashed my Blender because I did put a lot of polygons in whatever I did here. I was trying to model a model of mine. So I wasn't I didn't pay attention that I created to be a huge ass model, and my PC couldn't handle all the points basically that I created. And it crashed. So technically, if you think about it, when I was on the bike, I fell down, and that's okay. You get up and you get on again. So that's what I did. I turned on my computer, turned it back on. It turned on, which is great. I turned on Blender. My amazing model that I was working on wasn't there, thank God. But I learned that I need to keep up track on my dimensions. For example, I don't need to make some giant ass stuff, right? So that was a good note for me to understand. Okay, so I shouldn't do that again. The same thing with the bike. You shouldn't lean on one side and expect to keep your balance. It just doesn't work like that. So I hope this video was helpful, I guess. Yeah. that's the video for today. I'm extremely physically tired, and I have to finish my work. Yeah, I got work again. Yeah. So until then, I will see you in the next one. Next video, I don't want to say much, but I wanted to make it a little bit different. It will be about sculpting, again, not in Blender though. So hopefully I will see you there. And yeah, thank you so much for watching, liking and all that. And oh yeah, Blender, not Blender. YouTube already gave me the permission to put ads on my amazing videos, so you're gonna see more ads. Thank you so much for watching those ads. Yeah, so every little step counts, I guess, in this whole thing. Yeah, bye. Bye for now.